Hello everyone. In this video, I will walk through a complete system compromise in a controlled lab environment. For this lab, I have created an isolated virtual environment using VirtualBox. The environment contains two machines. First one is Kali Linux as an attacker machine, and second one is Metasploitable 2 as a vulnerable target machine. The goal of this walkthrough is to show a full workflow which consists of identifying the target, scanning services, obtaining network traffic, identifying a vulnerability, exploiting it, and confirming a full system compromise. Here is the Kali Linux, is the system I'm using for security testing. Metasploitable is intentionally vulnerable and is used only for academic and training purposes. This lab is set up in an isolated, so the testing does not affect any real systems. First, I will check the Kali machine's IP address using the command ip-addr. This command helps me to identify the subnet I'm currently connected to. My Kali machine is on 192.168.56.0/24 network. Now, I will use Nmap to discover active hosts on the network. For that, I'm going to use nmap-sn 192.168.56.0/24. This command performs a host discovery scan, and the option -sn means ping scan. It does not scan ports yet. It only checks which systems are alive on the network. This will take a few seconds. From this result, I'm going to identify that 192.168.56.105 as the target system. Before running a deep scan on that IP address, I'm going to open a Wireshark to monitor network traffic between Kali and the target. Basically, Wireshark is a packet analyzer. It allows us to capture and intercept network packets in real time. This helps verify that scanning and exploitation traffic is actually being exchanged between the attacker and the target. Now I'm going to select it, apply the filter as ip.addr on the target IP. I apply this filter as so Wireshark only shows packets involved in the target IP address. This keeps the traffic view clean and focused. Next, I'm going to perform a service version scan using Nmap. For that, I'm going to use the command nmap-sv, the target IP address. Here, Nmap is a scanning tool. The option -sv tells Nmap to identify the service versions running on open ports. This is very important because vulnerabilities are often tied to a specific software versions. This scan is going to take a few seconds. As you can see, the scan shows multiple open services. The important one for this walkthrough is port 21, which is FTP. The FTP service is running on vsftpd 2.3.4. This version is known to contain a backdoor vulnerability which can allow unauthorized remote command execution. Now we are going to switch back to Wireshark. As you can see in the Wireshark, we can see the packets being exchanged between the Kali and the test during the scan. This confirms active communication between the two systems. Now, I'm going to explain the vulnerability before exploiting it. vsftpd stands for Very Secure FTP Payment. FTP is used for file transfer, but this specific version 2.3.4 has a malicious backdoor inserted into the software distribution. When triggered, the backdoor can open a shell on a target system. A shell gives a attacker command line access to the machine because this service is running as root on the target. Successfully exploitation can result in root level access, which is a highest privilege level on a Kali system, Linux system. Now I'm going to open Metasploit using MSF console. Metasploit is a penetration testing framework. It contains exploit modules, payloads, and post-exploitation tools. In this walkthrough, I will use it to safely demonstrate exploitation for a known vsftpd vulnerability. Now I'm going to search for a module related to vsftpd using search command vsftpd. The Metasploit returns a module called exploit slash unix slash ftp slash 2.2.3.4 backdoor. This matches the vulnerable system service found during the Nmap scan. So this is the exploit module I will use. I'm going to use the command use exploit. I'm going to copy this. This command loads the exploit module into the Metasploit. Now, Metasploit is ready to configure the target information for this specific exploit. Here, I'm going to set our hosts to target IP address. Basically, our hosts stands for remote hosts. This tells Metasploit which system to attack. In this case, the target IP address is 192.168.56.105. So for that, I'm going to use the command set our host's IP address 56.105. I can use the show options to verify the module settings before running the exploit. For that, I'm going to use the command show options. Now I'm going to run the exploit using the run command. Metasploit attempts to trigger the backdoor in vulnerable FTP service. If successful, it opens a command shell session on the target machine. As you can see, the session is open. The output shows the command shell session as open. This means the exploit was successful. To check the confirmation of the compromise, I'm going to run the command who am I. The who am I command shows the current user account. The output is root, which means I have administrative access now. Next, I'm going to use the command ID. This ID command gives a more detail about the user and the group information. Here it shows UID 0 root, confirming I have the root level privileges. Next, I'm going to use uname -a. This command displays, sorry, uname. This command displays system and kernel information. This confirms and executing commands on the Linux target system. Next, I'm going to use ls/. This command lists the root directory of the target system. Since I can view the system level directories, this confirms that I can access the target system files. At this point, the system is fully compromised. Root access means an attacker could potentially read sensitive files, modify system configurations, install malware, create new users, or use the compromised machine to attack the another system. This shows why outdated services are so security risk. To mitigate this specific attack, uh, an organization should patch or remove vulnerable software, disable unnecessary services such as FTP if they are not using or not needed, restrict access using firewalls, monitor network traffic, and perform a regular vulnerability scans. In this case, updating or removing the vulnerable vsftpd version 2.3.4 service would prevent this specific attack. Now, this walkthrough demonstrated the complete process of designing and testing a controlled system for security analysis. I first created an isolated virtual lab environment consisting of a Kali Linux attacker machine and an Metasploitable target system, and then demonstrated how the system could be compromised. The process includes host discovery, service scanning, monitoring network traffic using Wireshark, identifying a known vulnerability, exploiting it using Metasploit, and then finally verifying root level access on the target. This highlights how improperly secured or outdated systems can be fully compromised and emphasizes the importance of secure configuration and regular patching. This concludes my system development and compromise walkthrough. Thank you.